hello everyone.
Hello.
How do you all do today? It's Friday.
It's Frigga's Day.
It's Frigga's Day. We have survived. One more week. One more revolution of this earth. Taking us to 7 more revolutions of the earth around the earth.
That's a lot of math.
Yes, we have arrived. Hail, Lady Commander Gentastic. Good morning, Jordan. Good one, Ghost Hunter.
Thank you, Ghost Hunter.
Thank you. Doing a little bit of spring cleaning really quick, putting paints away.
Oh, is that what that was about? I walked up today and I was like, wow, Jordan's got a lot of paint out. Like all the paint.
Yeah, it kind of just collects on the desk
Yeah.
as I paint. And then eventually I'm like, this is too much. And I put it all away. And then it just builds back up.
Yeah.
And I put it all away. And it builds back up. I put it all away. Well, hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
It's a nice, relatively balanced Friday.
Hoosiers, are you going on vacation?
Hoosiers going
I'll
on
be
vacation?
here for a week.
What?
Chuck's on vacation too?
Dang.
With all this vacation. I don't get a vacation.
Wait, Chuck's taking vacation right before he's taking another vacation?
Well, maybe this is all part of the vacation.
It's all probably part
because
of
it's
the
next
vacation.
week, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
God, I can't believe
Got
Gen
like a
Con
week
is
off.
literally next week.
It's crazy.
I'm flying out in the middle of the day on Tuesday.
Yeah.
What the heck?
This is all wrapped up in next week's vacation. Yeah. Bats Nats got board game day at the FLGS. Awesome. Silver King
Excellent.
Games in Tacoma. You know it, Jordan? You weren't Tacoma.
No, I was in Tacoma.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, this is probably further south than Tacoma, I imagine. I spent most of my time in northern Tacoma. Tacoma is a very large place. Kind of like the Seattle Metro type.
I'm on vacation until Monday, says Panic Bomb. That's about the extent of mine, too. But I haven't started mine yet. I got 2 more hours.
Yes, we have 2 more hours, and then we get to enjoy a delightful little weekend
Yeah.
prior to a delightful trip to Indianapolis involving seeing a bunch of you guys, which is going to be very exciting.
Yeah. A couple of the Gen Con crew took a day off.
Yeah,
To rest up ahead of time,
I need
think.
to get better about doing that.
Well, Philip has his birthday weekend, so that...
I also have mine coming up.
I mean, yeah, yours is on the other side.
Yeah, mine's on the back end. Just means I'll take it in between now and whatchamacallit? Nova, no.
Chuck started the new gig with 5 weeks PTO to burn up in 6 months. That's a lot of PTO. Wow, that's super generous.
That's a substantial amount of PTO.
Don't tell people who work here.
Well, he just did. Good thing I like it here.
Taking next week off, have lots of family coming into town. Somehow I think I'll end the week less rested than I started. That's the thing with vacations. There's a lot of time you need a vacation from your vacation.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part, right? It's like, man, I was so excited to take this vacation. I got back and I'm more tired than I was when I left. It's like, oh no, that's not good.
But it's different. Vacation tired is different than work tired. You know?
I mean, yeah.
It is.
I think it is, but it can be exhausting in a lot of the same ways.
I think it depends on a lot of things, like
Whoa.
who you're vacationing with,
I
what kind of vacation it is.
do my best to vacation with people who I will enjoy vacationing with. I think that's generally a pretty safe
I think if you don't have
recommendation.
children,
I also don't have
vacations
children.
are a little less exhausting.
Also correct.
Jordan
Having
gets all the
children.
paint he can eat. Pretty solid perk.
What? I'm not eating.
We don't
paint.
let him eat it.
I'm just not eating it.
Yeah, we
That's not-
provide them we provide them with snacks and foods so that they don't eat the paint.
Yeah, it's not a question of let me do anything.
We have Hot Pockets, have all the chips,
Although I will say I
lots
did
of
not
Rice Krispie treats.
do anything for lunch today because I was furiously working on my army for this weekend
Oh,
during lunch.
you work through your lunch break.
I-
Fun
well,
work through your lunch
I mean-
break. Not work, but
Yeah.
yeah. You hobbied on your lunch break.
I hobbied on my lunch break. So, not a terrible use of my lunch break.
I love my kid, but a vacation without him would be nice. We don't let him eat paint, but he has been caught red-handed in the past. Nope.
I think
I've
my
never caught
plan
him.
is to go to get real food after here.
Yeah. Are you going to Old World?
I don't think so. I mean, I could. But I need to like
Pick up your trash can that you just.
in a different spot.
I was gonna say that does not look like the right spot for it.
That's most definitely not the right spot for it. I think that's a Christopher thing. Anyways.
Blame Gabe, he's not here today.
Yeah. Hey,
it's Gabe's fault.
It's all your fault, Gabe. I would be happy to go to Old World. I think that would be fun. The problem is, I have a lot to do on this army to try and get it to a point where I'm like super happy with it for Sunday. Because it's like,
oh, you're playing.
Yeah, I'm playing in the narrative event. So, for those of you who do not know, Kyle, Mr. Kinghorn himself, the man, the myth, the legend,
The King Hammer,
the master of narrative events. He runs a narrative event for Horus Heresy 3 or 4 times a year. It's like every 3 or 4 months. We're trying to get it to be more often, but it's a lot of work for him to run. Mm-hmm. So we try to make it as easy as possible. So that's happening this Sunday. I'm very excited for it because it's always a spectacular day. So always nice. A blast. So,
and is that at Old World?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Although I think next time he does it, he's gonna have to rent out a bigger space.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because we get a lot of people for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's definitely gonna be a cool event. I would love to have a mostly painted army for it. It's not gonna be perfect. My goal is to have it be like 80%. If I can get it to 80%, I'll be happy with it. So that's my goal.
Now, do you know, like, because your 80% might be 150% for someone else, yeah? Potentially.
Potentially. I mean, it's army painting, so it's probably a lot closer. It's like it's get all the dudes to the point where the armor is done, the silver is painted, the like bolters are painted, and they're glued to a base. I think is like where I'll be happy with them.
Okay.
Which is probably more than 80% for most people.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like, I don't know.
And then will you continue to work on them? Or
yes.
Is that going to be done?
No.
Okay.
They will be, they will definitely be
I gotcha.
continued. But I have like a very large plane that I need to paint all the silver on and do all the decals on and all that stuff, which is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then I have to do 15, like another 28 just dudes. Now all of their armor is done. I just have to do all the like silver details and the black.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like not the worst thing in the world. And decals, that's going to be the most time consuming one, is doing all the decals for everything. And then I have 1, 2, 3 tanks that I need to try and get done in addition to all that. That's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And those tanks are not blue yet. So those are like all pre-shaded and undershaded right now.
Yeah.
So, but that's a plan for hopefully after work. Depends on if Jason's sticking around. So I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But that's my plan for this weekend.
Chuck said Hot Pockets are like an anti-perk. They're pastry-wrapped magma. Nobody really knows what they taste like because their mouth has been incinerated.
You know what's really funny? I have largely lost the taste for Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
I used to love them. They used to be a great, quick solution for food.
It's a food that you grow out of.
Yeah, I have, I think, officially grown out of it. He did it, folks. He did it again. Is it your favorite Friday pastime?
Right, or the center is completely frozen. Everything's hot except right in the middle where it's still frozen.
Are we talking about breakfast sandwiches?
Hot Pockets.
We're talking about hot pockets.
Basically the same thing.
Same thing. Basically any microwave food
Yeah.
that's like in sandwichy type of thicker in the middle, thinner
Yeah.
towards the edges.
Yeah.
I was just talking about how I have recently grown out of hot pockets as
Yeah.
being a reasonable thing to eat.
It is not reasonable.
It's not.
I don't care for them anymore.
They're not.
It's like
not
a dashboard drive through 1,500 miles a day type thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I would rather go to Quick Trip and get like a hot dog or those taquitos than have one of those silly hot pockets.
Sebastian, 1025. Do we ship to Colombia? I don't think so.
probably not direct on the website. You can always contact support if you have an order you wish to place. We are pretty stringent with certain shipping with regards to making sure that it's direct to an address that's receivable and things like that. We have a ton of problems, especially with South and Central America, believe it or not, with addressees not receiving stuff through the post. So we want to make sure you get your stuff. But you can contact support and they'll work with you. Support@monumenthobbies.com.
Chuck said they sent 6,000 wheels for ratcheting wrenches to heat treat and found out post-processing that the material was mixed and some of them didn't heat treat. So while I'm in Indy, some poor sucker has to sort them individually on a hardness tester. Well, aren't you glad that you're on vacation right now,
Sounds
Chuck?
like a great deal for you. That's awesome.
You just had an insanely expensive dinner.
Was
Did
it
it
worth
include
it?
Hot Pockets?
God, I hope not.
How does this
Probably
tie
no
together?
Hot Pockets involved. Was it worth the price?
And Sebastian, by the way, we also have a distributor, El Noveno Reno, in Mexico, and they can ship. They do ship to Mexico, Central America, and such.
Sebastian, you can use the link there, the monumenthobbies.com link. It takes you right to our store locator, so you can see the stores that are in your general area.
Speaking of lunch, what did you eat for lunch?
Where do you think we went? We had a guest, went to lunch.
Assuming that they're back from vacation, Los Dos.
Los Dos. We went to Los Dos.
Correct.
And I have a dinner meeting tonight, and that person also wanted to have Mexican food, and I had to put the kibosh on that.
You're like,
Yeah,
I
don't
can't
worry,
do
I
it twice in a
said,
row.
Yeah.
No, what are the other choices? I just ate Mexican for lunch. I will die.
What are you guys gonna do then?
It's just bar food.
Oh, okay.
D-Fresh just ordered the Monument Hobbies airbrush. It's going to be Christmas in July.
Nice.
Maybe August, though, when it arrives. Depends on where you live. What state are you in, D-Fresh?
It is July 26th, so we're coming up on August.
Well,
As
if we ship it
insane
Monday,
as that makes it
depending on
seem,
where you lived, if we ship it Monday, which we will if you ordered it today, you could potentially have it.
Monday's a bank
before
holiday.
Wednesday. Huh?
Monday's a bank holiday.
No, it's not.
Oh. Can't pull the wool on Jen.
Totally worth it. You're celebrating your 40th birthday and you didn't pay.
Well, happy 40th.
Yeah, happy birthday. What'd you have? Tell us about the deliciousness.
Yes, I must live vicariously through you.
Because Jordan had Hot Pockets, it sounds like.
I didn't.
No, he did
I didn't
not.
have
He
anything.
didn't have any. He was hobbying at lunch. He skipped his lunch to hobby.
Because his lack of planning has now caused him horrible scheduling conflicts.
I don't know if I would say scheduling conflicts, but I definitely could have been a lot more prepared.
Avian, we had a whole conversation about it the other day, maybe Tuesday. No, I wasn't here Tuesday. It was Wednesday, and I think we landed on Lady.
Lady Commander.
So bad.
Oh, this one is
That one's rough. That's a lot of words.
the all hail supreme. Well, I think it's
Defender of
supposed
the
to be supreme, but
paint
supreme,
ruler of all this-
supreme defender of the paint, ruler of all she surveys. Cerveries. All she serveries.
Serveries?
I thought it was surveys, but serveries. I don't know.
It's definitely serveries. I'm not sure what a servery is. Do you protect a lot of serveries?
Yeah. All of
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Jen serveries all the things.
I'm protector of serveries.
He's the supreme serverer.
The supreme server. Alrighty. So I'm using a bit of bright yellow ochre and a little bit of orange brown to build up these highlights for the gold on the chest. This is mostly bright yellow ochre though.
Game Delay said Jordan needs to be careful making fun of typos given his history of post-apocalyptics.
Post-apoplectic? Post-apocalyptic?
Apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic? Yeah, that
Spell
one,
checker in high school was a bad idea.
my brain definitely fell
It's
apart
terrible.
during that. To be fair, I think Gabe also ran into that problem when he was saying it once. Totally by accident. Definitely not on purpose. Also, it's all Gabe's fault. Everything's Gabe's fault today, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he's not here to
Blame
defend
Gabe.
himself.
Hashtag
So-
blame Gabe.
Hashtag blame Gabe Day.
Wow, even Jen's jumping on Gabe. Poor Gabe.
Not here.
He's fine.
He's not here. Not here to defend himself.
He can take the heat.
So Center, are you okay? I don't understand that. Hip hop anonymous. No fair, he gets the easy ones. Don't know. Vivian said sushi day today, baby J.
Sushi?
Well, I feel like chat is talking about something that we don't
I don't.
understand, that we don't know about. Having a
No.
private conversation
I don't.
without us.
Yeah, I don't. I don't understand. I don't
Thought I
understand.
was a fish snob. Jabe is more of one. What?
That's kinda
We're
true.
not talking about sushi, were we? Were we talking
Gabe,
about fish?
we were talking about sushi yesterday.
Oh, I was not
Um,
here.
Yeah,
Was Gabe here yesterday, or just in chat?
Gabe was in chat.
Gotcha. Yesterday
was-
Well, I wasn't here yesterday.
I think
have no idea what you're talking about.
Correct.
I was at the vet with Cora.
Yes. I don't remember exactly what it was about. We were talking about.
Soy sauce.
Oh yeah, I was basically saying how soy sauce on top of rice as the only condiment is like not a great solution for rice.
Soy sauce on rice?
Yeah. Yeah. Not great.
Who does that?
Lots of people.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think, I don't really know, but it is a thing that I used to do,
Oh.
and then realized that I hated it
Yeah.
and proceeded to never do it again.
Soy sauce is a really aggressive flavor.
Yes.
Hipsters are dead inside, and that's the only thing that livens it up for them.
Oh, I think that would be wasabi.
Shelby is a fan of soy sauce plus butter on rice.
I mean, I
Butter
can
on
see the
rice is
butter, but I don't understand the soy.
Yeah, the soy sauce is where it throws me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not. I mean,
So Vector at his super expensive birthday dinner had grilled scallops with some kind of foam.
with some kind of foam. Nice.
Yeah. Very molecular gastronomy.
Yeah.
And lime. Tuna tartare in some very fancy way. Fancier than just the tartare, because that's super fancy. Another tartare with strawberries and something. What kind of meat was that one? I don't know at this point. The best sirloin steak I've ever had in my life, probably, and a chocolate cake for dessert. Also, 3 cocktails and too many beers and wine. Sounds like a great celebratory dinner, Vector.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say that That sounds like an excellent evening.
And I believe Vector has been on a lovely vacation. So it sounds like a
Dang,
really nice
Vector.
birthday.
I need to figure out. You need to teach me the way of the birthday, because my birthdays definitely do not look like that.
Game Delay said, I learned everything I know about good seafood here in Utah.
Definitely. That's where it comes from. The world's best seafood, straight from Utah.
From the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah.
That's the sea.
Blech.
I mean, it's salt water. It's the same, right?
Hmm. I don't think those two things are. No.
Shelby said
No.
Jordan was saying that I was not. The soy sauce,
I was saying
but
that.
soy sauce and butter on rice is Shelby's comfort food.
I said she's allowed to enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with enjoying that.
Have you ever had rice with like a little bit of cinnamon and brown sugar
Oh, and butter.
and butter and a little milk?
That was dessert when I was growing up.
Yes.
No, I have not.
Every time we would have Chinese food when I was growing up, my mom would make that afterwards with the leftover rice. So good. It was all about dipping a bit of fish with rice into soy sauce and wasabi paste. That's the
Called sushi.
Yeah,
conversation from yesterday.
that is called sushi. Sushi does sound really good. I haven't had it in a while. We have a good one around here. Or we have quite a few good places around here, but
Wad Tomato. I thought we were friends. Wad Tomato said, next year on my birthday, I'm going to go out there to make sure Fuse isn't alone on his birthday.
I could use that. I get ditched a lot on my birthday.
I got sent away to the cold climates of
He ditched me.
the UK.
Ugh, brutal burrito. That sounds brutal. When I was in the Navy, Asian night was the worst. The cook's go-to was broccoli drowned in soy sauce with a handful of sugar thrown in to make it less bitter.
Hmm.
Ugh. Like, was
Yum.
he trying to make up some kind of teriyaki
mean,
adjacent sauce? That
So,
sounds...
soy sauce plus sugar is not an uncommon thing, but it's
Salty
typically, yeah, it's typically used for like, if you're making a base for like a gyoza sauce, it's like soy sauce plus a little bit of
I
sugar.
just feel like
and
soy
some-
sauce is not something that you're supposed to drown your food in.
No, certainly not. No, no,
Like,
no, no.
I mean, it's like salt. Like it's like putting salt on your food.
Yeah,
So you would use it like the way you would use salt.
yeah.
And I would not put like a cup of salt onto my broccoli. Terrible.
This sounds awful.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of sweet and savory, but not as a way to make soy sauce taste less like soy sauce. That sounds gross.
Just sounds like they didn't know how to make good, like.
Soy sauce does not make everything Asian. Exactly. Like, oh, put some soy sauce on it. It's Asian now. Gabe Delay said, I'm from Utah, and I'm very confident that drowned in soy sauce is how you make good seafood. Yes.
I'm concerned about your taste buds. Are they okay? Have you gotten them checked out by a doctor lately? Because
Do doctors check out taste buds?
I don't think so.
Someone has to.
I don't think I've ever had a doctor even talk to me about my taste buds before. Definitely
I
not
bet
part of
if
a
you
routine
had
checkup.
an issue with taste, you would go to a doctor and they would talk to you about your taste buds.
That's very
If
likely
you've
the
never
case.
had a problem tasting things, then you would have no reason to talk to a doctor about taste buds. I've never talked to a doctor about taste buds.
That's probably a good thing.
Bring back MSG in food. Its infamy is unfounded.
Well, she's great.
Soy sauce isn't an appropriate soup base? Ooh,
Good God.
sounds
Oh
like a...
no.
Yes, here's my high blood pressure soup. Would you like to try some?
Yeah, use a very little amount of soy sauce to flavor things. And even then, you can use like dark soy sauce, which is a lot better for that.
Sazin would like to know your usual process for painting NMM, both of you.
So start with a base color depending on what type of metallic you want to paint. For example, for like golds, you can go warm or you can go cold. Typically, if you go for a colder gold, you're going to use something closer to greens. If you're doing a warmer gold, you're going to use things closer to oranges and browns. And then you kind of just build up towards more yellow or ochre colors towards the midtones. And then you start pulling in the brighter colors with your brighter yellows. So you can see here where I started with the kind of yellow base, and then I gave it a wash of the dark yellow green yesterday. And now I'm bringing it back up to that kind of ochre brown color that I used before. And now I'm using bright yellow ochre to bring in a little bit more of that yellow. You can see that shine starting to pop out here. Once you kind of have the color palette, it's all about just creating the right amount of contrast. It goes from dark to light very quickly. The quicker the transition, the more reflective the surface.
Jason,
What?
you want to talk about your
What'd I do?
process
For what?
for non-metallic metal? Is it any different? Anything you want to add?
First, I drink a ton of caffeine.
He's lying.
No,
He does
lying.
not drink caffeine.
Yeah, you know me. I start from dark and work to light, so I'm doing the same thing. We're recreating the kind of more cartoony metallics that Ben has done on his card art, and so there's not as much of a drastic contrast on this. So you know, I'm doing a little bit smoother blending between my color stages, but normally I would make bigger jumps in contrast. You know, akin to, you know, the cool gold on my Blood Angels that
First,
started with
Jason grabs a pen and a spoon.
a dark yellow green, and then work up to ochre and pale yellow on this guy, and you get that gold. But you can see how I go from my darker yellow greens to my ochre to my bright spot very quick. So there's not a lot of blending from your bright to your dark. So really, like Jordan was saying, it's controlling the idea of how much shine, how much reflectiveness you want to the surface, and then understanding what that means from a standpoint of going from your dark color to your light color. The more you extend the mid-tone and blend the mid-tone through from dark to light, the duller it will appear, more like brushed aluminum. And then the more you retreat the brightness into the darkest color and your mid-tone shrinks, the shinier it will become. Right. So, you know, you've got like a duller metallic on Percival, but then the gold on the shield has a little bit more of a bright spark than the silver armor, right? And definitely much more than the sword.
Oh, he's so cute.
And then extremes like doing a more polished gold on the face of this Terminator shield, where it goes from very dark reflective surfaces to very bright, because you have to remember the darkness on a reflective surface like metal is not shadow necessarily, it is the reflection of things in the environment around the subject. You know, it's other blood angels marching alongside this guy, it's telephone poles, buildings, it's all that stuff that are being reflected back, but it's not a mirror sheen, so you're not going to see them color correct, you're just going to see darkness. Right. The same way the dark points on the rivets on his shin plate are all the ground, right? And other things in the environment, and then the brightness up on top. So it's all your light placement, and then how you decide to move and blend from your bright to your dark. that will determine the nature of the metal you're painting. It's always the same. Start dark, go through my midtones. For a lot of people that are just starting out, getting the comfort of painting non-metallic metal, it is really a good move to start with your darkest color and then put a little bit of a sketch of your brightest reflective color in there. So you can see where your bright light is going to go. A lot of people will do that. So you don't have to go just dark to light standard paint style. You can choose to interrupt that process and put your bright colors on first. That's kind of a guiding light. Some people in the, in like the same scope of zenithal highlighting, you can do that. Really up to you. The trick is always going to be how your darkest spots and brightest spots relate to one another in the final product as to whether or not you pull it off right.
Jay Tyler said, I have a Devil Mini that has feather texture rather than leather. Would you stay in reds, yellows, and orange colors or change it to something else for wings?
I mean, you can choose whatever you want, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that says that a demon's got to be red.
Are you doing the demon skin red? Because there's lots of things that would contrast like that. You could think of like a green macaw. Google like the bluish macaws, parrots, and have like, bright bluish green would work pretty well. You'd want to probably stay less away from green if you're doing bright red skin because it'll start looking like a Christmas ornament, but blues work really well for that. Golden colors would be really cool, yellows and oranges. Something that pulls it away from the skin because it would get fairly monotonous to have a bunch of red demon skin and then also red wings. So purples, blues. Sky is really the limit. You can choose to do what you want. You could paint it like dusty brown owl feathers. All of those could tell a really cool story. It really depends on, like, is it matching something in your army? What's your vision for it? All that.
Hello, Jade. Jade said only on for a few minutes before I got to run. Wanted to wish everyone a happy weekend.
You as well, Jade. Good to see you.
Happy weekend. We will see you next week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got to put up with us next week.
We won't. They will.
Yeah, Jason and I will. We received 100 messages today with Restream chat. What the heck?
Talkative passages.
Thanks.
That happens every day.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've literally never seen it before. So weird. Thanks, Twitch, for letting us know, or thanks, Restream, for letting us know that people are talking.
Red skin, yeah. I mean, again, like even something like this, when I did Androsta, is that her name?
Yeah.
Androsta, with just kind of standard golden bird wings, could look really, really good with red skin. Right, and this has undertones of dark purple into mahoganies and ochres, and then finally a little bit of pale yellow, probably a brown wash in there as well, so that you can get kind of realistic bird feathers, but also make them work with the demon flesh and make it seem kind of, I mean, that would be very interesting, right? Rather than demons generally with like the bat web wings and blacks and reds and all that. You can do some really cool stuff to make it still tell a very interesting story, but not be so much the de facto demon that you would hear of. I'd use those same exact wings from Androsta on Dante, and you can do them in like pale whites. Also using yellows and blues and magentas and things like that to give it kind of an iridescence to it. That would go really, really well, but it would be very, very high contrast with your red skin. So the piece would become totally different with something that bright against red. You can see like the red cloth on his loincloth versus the white. You get a very high contrast in coloration if you do something like that. So just be careful. I think I have anything else with wings on it. Grays could work really well.
Yeah, for wing membrane, there's so many different options you can go with. You can go skin color, you could go black, grays, purples, blues. You could almost pick anything and it would look good. I am contemplating whether or not I want to go see the Deadpool movie.
I want to see it.
Jen wants to go see it?
Mm-hmm.
First time hearing this.
You know I like Deadpool. Like the only one that I'll continue to go see.
Yeah, I have negative interest to see any other Marvel movie. But Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. I'll go see that.
Be interested to see what they do with it. I know it's a, multiverse story, so I'm kind of tired of that, but it could be fun. I think that the Wolverine Deadpool dynamic can be fun if it's not overplayed. It's alt timeline Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the X-Men period are going to be alternate timeline stuff, which is weird to me. I mean, I guess it makes sense because the universe hasn't shown any of it so far, but it's definitely weird.
Well, they put themselves in a bind by having the Avengers appear to be the only superheroes on the planet.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so what do you do if you bring them into the MCU timeline of events happening after the snap and all that? And Thanos, it's like, where were you bastards? I feel like we were having this conversation with some friends, and I feel like that would actually be a good way to start the anti-mutant sentiment that exists in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Because people could be like, where were the mutants when we needed them? And that could be
that's actually a great
not
idea.
you're a mutant, we hate you, but
like you didn't help us at all.
You didn't help us at all, kind of a thing, and it could breed that kind of discontent right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Rather than it being a more racially driven thing, because I can see why Marvel might want to stay away from the mutant, because in the books it was a very socially conscious racism statement that was being made, using mutants as the brunt of the
100%.
the ism. And I can understand why they might not want to venture down that path in their movies, but they would have another way to do that and still have the same effect.
Yeah. I think the tricky thing is when you start cutting that out of X-Men's narrative, you limit yourself with options, because most of the narratives in that comic book series are all about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about them being persecuted, running from the persecution, Magneto fighting the persecution.
Yeah.
The Fox movies may not be great, but they stuck true to the idea.
I mean, I actually really like the Fox movies for the most part.
I mean, the what was it, the Armageddon one? Was horrible, dude.
That one doesn't exist. That one is just actual.
You've just written that one off.
Oh yeah, it was hot garbage. But First Class was good. Days of Future Past was good. Or maybe not good, but it was a reasonable movie.
Yeah, watchable. Again, they didn't have the budget, nor the effects, nor the ability to really pull it off the way you want to see it. So I would be really psyched to see the X-Men told with the vigor that they did the Avengers.
Yeah. I think at a minimum what they did well is they got good castings for a good chunk of the characters. Their casting for Wolverine's very good.
I thought Halle Berry was horrible as Aurora. I think everybody was like, Halle Berry, because she's pretty.
But you mean...
She was not Storm.
Papa Chicken said I was blending bright green to bright yellow green, and it only took one pass. versus the 2 to 3 I'm used to with most other pairings of similar value differences.
Yep.
Why might those two colors blend easier than other roughly equivalent duos? Really trying to understand the mechanics of paint itself.
A lot of times it might be when you're blending something like a green that, yellow being a big component of it, it pulls from that yellow really easy. Bright yellow green is also very transparent in its qualities. So it's going to give you a better blending sense right out of the gates, right? Because you can see through it. More opaque colors are going to require you to try harder to get them to blend. A lot of times you'll wind up mixing the colors to get a 50-50 blend going. That makes that easier.
Obi Stonks Kenobi. For the follow.
Obi Stonks Kenobi.
Yeah. So what's everyone doing this weekend? Anything fun?
Well, I mentioned what I was doing a little bit earlier.
Yep.
Going to the game store on Sunday, playing in the narrative event. Be a blast. As always, Kyle runs a great event.
Punisher, is that a no to my question? Nothing fun. No plans. Sometimes those are good too, though.
What you got going on this weekend, Jason? Just hanging out?
No idea.
Probably not a
Have
bad thing.
Business meeting tonight, right after work, right after stream.
We're not big planners.
And then I have to decide if I'm coming up here. Christopher wants to come up here tomorrow to do some work, some shooting. I may come up here, and I have some new paints to test out. So that may be a thing. Being gone for Gen Con means I have to squeeze a lot in a little bit of time before Wednesday when I leave. But no, I don't have any rock solid plans, just a lot of stuff I know I got to do.
That is fair.
If anyone wants to go see the movie, maybe we can go see the movie.
I think it just opened, so
This is opening
I
weekend.
think
for
it's
sure.
opening
Yeah.
weekend, so we can wait a couple weeks.
Yeah, it might be a movie that actually stays at the theater long enough.
Yeah.
Alien Romulus is coming out, so
What?
I'm getting geared up for my need to see my one movie a year. Maybe
What?
it'll be two.
What movie?
Alien Romulus.
Oh.
Going back to the movie that should have been Alien 3, kind of. It's not, but it's in that universe.
Mhm.
And so far, the previews look really good. They look like they're taking it back to the age of Alien and Aliens as far as actual scary action.
Panic Bomb said, think I'm going to attempt to bring one of my armies over the finish line finally.
Nice.
Good. Hot Tomato hanging out at a friend's house on Sunday for his birthday. Probably going to the game store tomorrow for Star Wars Unlimited casual play. Is it Philip's house? Are you going to Philip's house for his birthday? Because his birthday is Sunday. That one guy H is baby furniture shopping.
Ooh, nice.
For your like your baby, your upcoming baby, or someone else's. If it's yours, congratulations. If it's someone else's, congratulations to them. Tauk Elf liked the movie. The
Yeah.
Deadpool, I assume.
Was it better than the second one? Because the second one, I did not care for that much.
Deadpool?
Yeah. First one, great. Second one, felt a little forced.
Might be a bit of a hike.
terrible.
Sorry, Philip. He's not here today.
Your first baby.
First baby. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
When is baby expected to arrive? We have Matt here, whose wife is about to have baby.
Very exciting times.
She will be born next Saturday, if not sooner. Tech Elf, did you hear Jordan's question about it? Was it better than the second one?
I think Tech Elf's response is yes.
Oh.
Yeah. For sure. The second of any movie always feels a bit forced. It's kind of a requirement. I don't know. I felt like if you're talking about like the original X-Men movies, first one was okay, second one was good, third one was terrible.
I will present you a movie that I was just speaking of called Aliens.
Yeah.
What about the Fast and the Furious? Did the second one feel forced?
Oh, the second one is horrible.
So yes.
Yeah, the second one is bad. They took it. I think what they did is they thought that the main character was a different, like, because the second one is like doesn't have Vin Diesel in it. He's not in the second one.
Was he in the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I thought he was one that came on later.
No, he's like
the main.
He's the main guy.
I thought it was Paul Walker. Am I
No,
thinking of it
Paul
different?
Walker was the main guy.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like they are both equal sharers in this.
The story was about Paul Walker,
I have
and
not
Vin Diesel was
contributed
a
'cause I have not
supporting
seen it
character
yet.
who was
In the
his
first-
nuts love interest brother.
In the first one.
Yeah.
And then they realized after making the second one, where they continued having Paul Walker being the main character, didn't do as well.
Mm.
I guess then they did Tokyo Drift, which didn't do very well. Because they didn't stay on with that very much. Although I do like that movie. But then they went back to having everyone back together. And it worked a lot better.
December 1st. You still got a little bit of time. That said, I'm sad that I'll lose all my paint time. Who?
Our Lord and Savior Fred Durst. Did I just hear that in my office?
You did.
Somebody's
Tech Elf.
fired.
Tech Elf said thinking of leaving the country on Saturday. Like forever? For the day?
For the day?
I don't know. I mean, we can do that.
Oh yeah, I can actually do that now.
You
Passport.
could leave the country for a day.
Yeah.
Well, I meant that we're close enough that you could take a day
Drive
trip,
to
go
Mexico.
to Mexico and come back.
Also, yes. I'm very used to like not having a passport and being like,
I don't think you need a passport for Mexico.
Yeah, you do.
You
Do
do.
you?
Yeah.
I've
They
been
don't
there
do
a long
driver's
time,
license
so-
anymore.
They don't do driver's license anymore?
Nope.
You can't. I think there's a type of license that you can
The
get.
real ID probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't have that. Holding
Our-
on my
crappy licenses.
holding on
are
to
no
my
good.
vintage driver's license. Winnipeg. All right. So you're on the top side by the border. We're down at the bottom.
It'd be nice to go to Canada at some point again. Been a while. I wouldn't want to go right now though. Things are on fire. It seems like it's always on fire.
Canada?
Yeah.
In
during
the summer?
Yeah. Pretty bad. Sounds like they had some lightning strikes that put a city on fire.
This is the time of year that happens.
Correct.
We know this.
Do we get a ton of fires around here?
I mean,
Yeah.
not in Phoenix, but in the valley, yes.
In the valley?
Yeah. Deserty areas, like Cave Creek, North Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, those areas, and then like further north.
I was gonna say, yeah,
fires,
the area as you go up to Flagstaff or out towards
more
Vegas.
forest.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so used to like Seattle and stuff where they have fires, and those fires are there for weeks, and you can smell them and breathe them from miles and miles and miles and miles and miles away. It's not great.
Happens everywhere.
Nice to not have that here. And a little bit of time blocking out some of the color on the rest of the sky.
Dust storms and generally terrible air.
Accurate.
I've not been caught out in a dust storm yet, so that's probably good.
Fire incident yesterday that nearly had us ready to evacuate. Now another one ballooned in 48 hours, evacuating areas within 10 miles of us.
Oh,
You
jeez.
should probably be ready.
Tell California to start clearing underbrush again.
Yeah.
Or there's that. Weird how
You vote
when
there.
you leave
Would you make it happen?
stuff on the ground, it burns when it gets real dry.
Yeah. Turns out when you leave it to nature, you find out that nature used to burn the whole planet down.
And it didn't matter because there weren't houses.
Yeah, because we're in houses.
Too busy taxing gas and giving drugs to homeless people.
Yep. Also true.
I like how this gold looks with the kind of like dirty teal on the wrists. Cool looking.
So quiet today.
It's Friday. Everybody's tired.
Gross
Yeah.
in your painting.
Everybody's tired.
This
Long week.
has been a long week.
This has felt like a very long week.
Yes, it has.
Lots of prep for shows. Lots of meetings.
Boneyard, can you use the regular pro paints for a primer?
I think they're asking if they can use our regular paints as primers.
Not really. The thing with a primer is that, in our case, with a polyurethane-based primer, you have a lot more adhesion. It is able to grasp the bare model better. Can you just paint a bare model with our normal paints? The answer is yes. We never guarantee that you get a long-term adhesion to that base layer, though. Primer is really what you want to be doing. the nap you took did not help. She fell
Shelby
asleep
wore
at
us
her
out.
lunch.
Shelby wore us out
Did
this,
she?
this week with her chaotic energy. Apparently, she wore herself out too. 'Cause she needed
Yeah,
a
she
nap
wore
She
today.
was
herself out.
taking a nap during lunch today.
Oh,
Get in
jeez.
there. She's like sprawled out on the
Curled-
couch.
No, she's curled up. On the love seat, I think, actually.
Yeah, she was on the left.
Yeah. The little
It's
one.
all just a couch. Couch or smaller couch.
They are very comfortable, though, I will say.
Those are some of the most comfortable couches I have ever sat in. And I've sat on a lot of couches. They're well loved
Yeah.
quality couches.
Bought those a
Leather's
long
nice and
time
broken
ago.
in.
I know. That's why I'm so impressed. Usually,
2017, we got them.
okay, so it's not like super.
No, it's not
long
like
ago.
decades.
It was like what, 7 years, give or take. So yeah, I mean that's a pretty reasonable amount of time for a good solid couch. Because I remember by the time my parents got rid of the couch that we had when we were kids, like, or when I was a kid, they had it for 12 years, 15 years. I mean, it was a nice leather couch, but it was just,
God, my house, we had hand-me-down fabric couches
yeah.
from my grandmother's house.
We had.
And man, they were horrible. By
we
the
had-
time we got them, they were beat, and by the time they were just uncomfortable husks.
Yeah.
We had this couch that was super 1970s. It was like brown and orange, like woven,
Oh.
like, and it was super comfortable. And it was a
Uh-huh.
pull-out bed,
Mm.
and that's like the couch I remember from being a kid. We moved here, and I don't know where it sat for the first like 2 years that we were here when we lived with other people. And then when my mom moved into her own place, it's the same couch. And then probably when I was, I don't know, maybe like 15, we recovered it.
Oh no.
Like somehow my mom figured out how to recover a couch,
Mhm.
and we went and got furniture, and like me and my grandma and my mom had this project where we just redid our couch, and it looked really nice.
That's cool.
And then she didn't get a new couch until she got married when I was like in college. So I mean, it was like a lifetime couch.
Yeah, that's cool.
And nowadays you get like crappy IKEA frames.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I did not get mine from IKEA, but it still feels a little more flimsy than I would like.
Even, I mean, you got it doesn't matter. Insert name here, American Furniture Warehouse.
Yeah.
You name it. They've made furniture affordable so you can get stuff that, looks nice at first glance for like your starter apartment and stuff. But I always loved the idea that, as I was moving out for my first time, I had hand-me-down furniture that was built like a brick.
Yeah.
Some of it wasn't the most comfortable stuff because, obviously people weren't trying to give me their best stuff. But it was nice and durable.
My first apartment, we had a futon, and I had a waterbed,
Ooh.
which was crazy.
Yeah, think about that now.
I
Water
cannot
beds.
imagine.
So funny. My parents had a waterbed forever.
Yeah.
Gotta appreciate the improvements in sleeping technology.
Waterbeds are great. Talking about very comfortable. I don't know whatever happened to them.
People got sick of the neighbor above you having their waterbed leak and destroy your apartment. That's what happened to them.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be particularly happy about that.
Here, let's put hundreds of gallons of water in a plastic bag and have people have sex on it on your ceiling. Great. Sounds like the
Jeez.
best idea ever.
That sounds not even remotely like the best idea ever.
Anybody out there still have a waterbed?
Somebody out there is like, I resemble this remark.
I need to know. I'm sure that there's someone out there who had one in their past. Your dad had one. Thanks.
I'm surprised you have a couch from IKEA that lasted 4 years.
Huh?
Erdu said he has a 4-year-old
yeah.
IKEA couch that
Busted and fallen apart, but it looks good.
they use like the cheapest wood in the history of wood.
It's almost like worth building your own. Just figuring out how to make one from scratch. Use good solid wood for the
Oof.
frame.
Ooh, Rayism said a friend of mine's upstairs neighbor hooked up their bidet wrong and it leaked water down into my friend's apartment.
Oh no. That sucks.
You know what? I must have just been very lucky in my apartment living because I've never had problems with like people above me having any issues other than, like walking.
I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
When I
I
moved
got
out,
nobody above me.
yeah, when I moved out, my uncle told me, he goes, always get a top floor apartment. And so I always had a top floor apartment.
Huh.
It's
So he
great.
was like, you will hate yourself if you have anything but a top floor apartment.
Edward Scissorhands when he accidentally cut the waterbed, yeah. Is IKEA wood legally allowed to be called wood?
I mean, it's particle board, but or press fit MDF, but yeah.
It's made out of Swedish meatballs.
It's made out of Swedish meatballs.
Wood byproduct.
Yeah, exactly.
Wood byproduct is definitely a much more appropriate description.
It's funny because even IKEA has gone so far down in quality over the years.
Mm-hmm. I have to admit, though, the one thing I have purchased from IKEA that I really enjoy is my bed frame. It's great. It's solid. I spent a decent amount of money on it when I bought it. I didn't buy like one of the $100 crappy IKEA ones. I sprung for a more expensive one that felt a lot sturdier, and it's held up really, really well since I bought it. Tears down pretty easy too, so can't complain about that either. It's a solid little bed frame.
IKEA is good for that cube shelf.
Oh yeah, those things are
That's
sweet.
a good product from IKEA.
The what?
The whatever the cube shelf is called.
Oh yeah,
Kallax or
they've got
something.
some products that are definitely
Yeah.
worth going and getting because they don't have to perform. People
Yeah.
aren't jumping up and down on them, sitting on them all the time. They don't have to be comfortable. They just have to be function. And they're simple.
And they look, yeah, Kallax. That's what I thought.
Never trust an IKEA bed. Good lord.
No, I did not buy my
Yeah,
bed
the
from
Kallax or
IKEA.
whatever they call it now. Yeah.
Definitely did not do that.
Yeah, I gotta say, I bought that bed frame we have 2008.
That's a solid piece of furniture. Yeah, that's like
Where'd you get it?
16-year-old bed frame, and it's not.
it's-
It has another
there's
30 in it.
Nothing wrong with it. I mean, other
Yeah.
than it's like a little bumped on.
It's
the
made
side
out
the
of
corner.
like Peroba wood from Brazil,
Dang.
and really heavy duty frame, like super heavy duty hardwood
It's heavy.
frame.
Nice. Thing's got to be a pain.
It's
in the
been
butt
beat
for-
to crap, and it's still like it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's
still
got some
sticking,
chips
though.
in it. The wood is taking some chips and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's
Still in reasonable shape.
yeah. Well, and it's built to be like the wood is the Peroba stuff is like antique old barn wood, so it looks antique.
Oh, that's cool.
It's modern bed, modern form, but
Yeah,
it looks
designed
antique.
to
So even
look
when it gets
antique.
cracks in it, you're like, oh, it's supposed to be there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
IKEA makes solid wood furniture as well. It's just not the cheap stuff 85% of the customers are buying. You mean the cheap stuff that's 85% of their store?
Shelby, does he know this? Always putting her dad to work.
I mean, I think if I really wanted to do it, and unfortunately I don't really have space to do this, but like it'd be nice to go get quality furniture from other people and just resurface and refinish it all.
I mean, we got
If you had the time,
yeah, the time and space to do it, that's the best way to do it. 'Cause
well,
you can get it at a
we
haircut.
we went to like an antique vintagey store and got a
Yeah.
big like wall shelf
Yeah.
thing
it's awesome.
because we just couldn't find anything new that we wanted that
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, because I mean,
That's-
all this new stuff is a lot of the
Yeah.
time doesn't look great.
Yeah.
And if you want something that it like has style to it and is nice and sturdy, like you got to go find stuff that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially now today because a lot of the furniture manufacturers are very large, mass manufacturers now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
IKEA included, but
Mhm.
even like I said, the furniture warehouse places and, even Copenhagen, they have neat Danish inspired design, but they're still mass manufactured. They only have like 3 or 4 designs. And if you don't like the 3 or 4 designs, you're like, well,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here, you got the kitchen cabinets from IKEA. Good quality for the price. Yeah, that's
the kitchen cabinets
very popular for like house flipping because it's like solid stuff. It all goes together easily.
better style than what you find at Home Depot.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a step
Same build
above, like, the Home
quality,
Depot
but
stuff.
not-
We did that when our last house, the kitchen, like we knew that the cabinets came from IKEA, and we went and made an island, and we got the same stuff, and it matched. It was super easy. Well, I mean, easy to find the stuff that matched.
The other thing I have from IKEA that's really nice is the miniature cases that I have.
Yeah, those are real
really
popular.
good.
Yeah.
I don't have the
Yeah, so long as you don't have the one that explodes, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I have the Millsbow cases, the double door opening ones.
Mhm.
That come in white and black, and they're really nice. They're expensive, but it's worth the extra expenditure.
Yeah, it's like Wad said, they have some nice stuff, but
Yeah.
you think of IKEA for, hey, I need this thing for my college dorm room
Yeah.
Yeah.
or for the Calac shelf for your house, right?
Papa Chicken saw that Vallejo Paint was bought by Pro A Capital, a private equity company.
Yep.
A little
So was
worried-
Army Painter.
A little worried that they're going to end up going the same route that Red Lobster did, getting gutted and then go bankrupt. Then again, I don't buy their paint anyway. So
Yeah, you never know. I mean, when a company is struggling or the owners want to cash out, are both, areas where that can happen. Since all of these companies are privately held, you don't really get a view of it. But yeah, they were Army Painter, same thing.
They weren't purchased by the same company, though.
No, not the same company,
Yeah.
just another bank firm. Same deal, but in Denmark.
Yeah.
So Army Painter is no longer the original owners. I mean, I think they're probably still shareholders, but I don't remember the percentage of share. But I think Vallejo was like a 70+% share of purchase, and Army Painter was in the 50s or something like that. You can check my math on that, read. But again, they're not publicly traded, so. Yeah, you can just hope that it is a good thing that gives them operating capital and, helps them grow and do the things they want to do. Sometimes it's just the natural order of things. Like I said, you have an owner and a small business, I mean, they're still technically small businesses. Army Painter, Vallejo are not huge companies. In our industry, they seem big.
yeah,
But they're not big in terms of like what banks look at as big. But still good investments if they have good business. The one thing you have to remember is that, for a bank to step in means it has to be, at least a reasonable business because they have shareholders they have to take care of and things like that. So.
Another reason we are grateful for Pro Grill.
Monument Hobbies and S&P 500 win.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I bet estate sales around here are like insane.
What?
Like, I bet you can find some really nice stuff at estate sales around here.
Oh, pretty much anywhere, right? If you're
Well,
hunting for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, with proximity to like Scottsdale
The Biltmore.
and yeah, it'd be like me going to an estate sale in Bellevue, Washington.
Yeah.
It's like all the people there
Higher end.
have a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
So typically their estate sales will have nicer quality stuff.
Hairdo. A lot of old people retire here in like mobile homes. They're not in, like they're retiring here in big like not in their big fancy houses anymore. They're downsizing. So while yes, there are a lot of older people who live here, retirees who have relocated generally get rid of a lot of their stuff before they leave.
Yeah, some of the 55 and up
We have
communities
so
are all trailer
many
parks.
55 and up communities around here. I mean, not like in our general vicinity, but
I never knew that. That's really interesting. That most of them are. I mean, it makes sense when you really think about it.
yeah, or they're yeah, tons of crap. I don't want to look through their crap. Yeah, they're like the 55 plus communities are these master planned communities with like patio homes. So they're smaller homes, or they're trailer park, like higher end trailer parks a lot of times, but they're still mobile homes because they're easier to maintain, things like that.
Well, the weather here
More
allows for mobile
affordable.
homes to last for a long
Exactly.
time because there's no moisture.
Yep.
Biggest threat to mobile homes is tornadoes and moisture.
But they have really nice, like my grandpa's brother lived out, or would winter out here. He would come every winter and live in a 55 plus community in a mobile home, and it was beautiful. Like it's one where you walk in and you don't realize you're in a mobile home, and it's exactly what I'm talking about, Papa Chicken, where the homes don't feel like mobile homes; they feel like actual homes.
Oh yeah, they're nice.
And they have like activities, and they have swimming pools and tennis courts and bingo and clubhouses and all kinds of stuff for them to do. It's fantastic. I was like jealous.
Yeah, my mom built a house in a place like that in Idaho.
Uh-huh.
So that's I mean, and their
Yeah.
house is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's in a really really nice place. So, just yeah, it's a great option for people who are looking for that kind of lifestyle.
Grandparents were snowbirds with a trailer in Quartzsite. Yep, they still do the rock show. Someday, yeah, game night at the senior assisted living home will be a D&D group.
God,
Oh, that's
that'd be
crazy.
so
Yeah, I wonder if
funny.
that's even a thing some places.
A bunch of pineapple porch decor in those communities. Exactly.
Oh, quit it. You quit it.
Did you say pineapple porch?
Shush.
Oh my gosh.
No need to repeat it.
Yeah, how many years do you think it'll be before senior living areas will have regular like D&D type stuff?
I mean, that's
From-
pretty much
from
my
the age
generation, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm 54, so
It's like coming up.
you know, I can see that being a thing. Those neighborhoods are 55 and up.
Yep,
Maybe I'll do the first.
that would be funny.
Jen and I'll be running
Running
5th
This will be
edition
the-
D&D modules.
the dungeon master.
15 to 20 years. I'd say 15 to 20 years maybe
No,
for
I
it to be
think
a
now.
regular thing.
I think now it's going to start happening.
Start happening for sure.
Yeah, it's not going to take 15 to 20 years. Like I said, the generation
Yeah.
that D&D was the largest other than right now is mine. When we were kids. It was when we had the Tipper Gores up in arms that we were devil worshippers and all that stuff. And all of those people, I guarantee, now that it's become a hot thing again, are a lot of the people I see running it. Hell, DM Scotty, all those guys and gals are from my generation.
Yeah.
The ones that have been keeping the fires burning for decades. So better believe. The only reason D&D is still a thing that people pay attention to is because all of those first-gen people that never gave it up and who have 37 years of their Dungeons & Dragons group together. Yep. And those people are going to play it on cruise. They're already doing it on cruises. Granted, it's probably younger people on the cruises, not retiree cruises. But
I don't know. I mean, you got to think about the income, too. The people who have the income for things like that are going to be older.
Stranger Things helped. Well, the only reason that Stranger Things was putting it in Stranger Things is because of the people that knew about it that brought it from the first generation. It wasn't like Stranger Things had an ad to run for D&D.
Well, but when is Stranger Things set? It was set in the 80s,
In the
which
80s,
is
yeah.
when, those kids are the same age we were at that time.
That damn Tom Hanks. Which Tom Hanks movie? Who's the reason?
Tipper Gore, I
Tipper
think.
Gore, yeah. Good old Al Gore family. But all our fashions then is coming back around. Really?
That's true of every trend.
Yeah.
They all come
I mean,
back.
humans are just diggers up of bones.
We're unoriginal.
We're unoriginal.
That's why we have to remake all these movies and TV shows.
Oh my gosh. Stop it with all the remakes. The one that blows my mind, why are they remaking Harry Potter?
Yeah,
Blows
I don't
my
even
mind.
think about that.
Crazy.
One where Tom Hanks gets
Paradise?
confused and thinks thinks he really is his player character. Oh, I've
I
never
don't
heard
know.
of this. Not know Tom Hanks was in a D&D related.
D&D related or inspired movie. That's interesting to me.
The answer to all your questions is money.
Is it?
I don't think so.
So what questions?
All of them.
I'm ready to time this person out here because it feels a little spammy.
Yeah.
What's that?
The answer to all of your questions is money. It's like, you ever see those comments on Instagram posts that's like, has nothing to do with anything. It's just some person saying, I was in financial ruin until I met so-and-so.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen these
Oh, yeah.
comments? Yeah.
They're right up there with, hey, I've selected your post.
Yeah.
Your parents were glad to know where you're at. Didn't care I was playing a game to worship Satan. I mean, my parents knew I played D&D, and they just knew that the kids in the block were having fun. And sometimes we'd be at my house. Sometimes we'd play at the DM's house. It was like 3 doors down from my house. Sometimes we'd be at the guy 5 doors down from the house. But they always knew where we were. And they loved that I loved to paint the miniatures, and I was having fun with this stuff. And I would tell these stories. I get all animated about it. So they loved it. I think they probably got a kick out of it when they saw, because of course my family was like big fans of Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, and hippies that read fantasy and sci-fi, and so when they would just laugh, my mom probably at one point in time, because she went through a stage, but she probably at one point in time was like, "Is it the devil?"
Should I be worried about
Vic
this?
Danger's comment about the answer to all your questions is money was related to Harry Potter and why they're remaking
Oh.
it.
I mean, yeah, that's
gotcha.
always the answer.
Yeah, that part I don't understand. It's like Harry Potter. I mean, it's not even that long ago. It doesn't
No.
need a
Well,
remake for crying out loud.
We've talked about this, didn't they? Aren't they doing it to get rid of J.K. Rowling?
No,
To
she's
make sure-
involved.
Oh,
She's involved.
in it.
Yeah.
I don't know then. I don't care either.
Yeah, they're just doing a TV show version of it, which is interesting to me.
All of my Instagram followers are fake porn models. All of my Instagram posts are miniatures. Weird. I have some very strange Instagram followers.
We could call out a lot of Instagram community people who follow the wrong type of women. because the Monument Hobbies feed, when we look at it, is filled with the wrong kind of women, and it always calls out who you're being shown this because so and so follows this person. So we're on to you guys.
Oh, that's so
As we're going through looking at our feed, and you see like, why the hell is this being suggested? And it always tells you. It says so and so likes this, and it'll be community member X that likes this post.
so funny.
Instagram's calling you people out.
The suggestions.
What's
You,
that?
just have to, you can snooze the suggestions. You just have to do it every 30 days.
Yeah, I got tired of doing it.
I know.
Yeah,
I have to.
It's never been
because I
able to. It's
can't
never been
stand
able to turn it off permanently.
Like, I don't want your suggestions. I have enough that I can't keep up with.
Well, and the
I
problem is
follow.
that with our company, which is my Instagram, is the company one. I don't have a personal one, and the problem with it is that we only follow people in the art miniatures creative space, and there's just not enough content, so it gets to the end. You literally like that old meme, like I've reached the end of the internet. You know, you get to the end, and it's like,
and it stops. You're like, huh?
There's
I
nothing
don't
more.
think that's
It's
true
like
anymore.
it says check back later for more things that you follow.
I don't know that that's true anymore because like there's so much. Like the way they have their algorithm now, like I don't see half of the things people post because it only shows me certain content. It's very strange. I don't like it.
Sugar Rush says a TV show for Harry Potter can show a lot more of the books. My sister would always go on about how they missed this and that, and I never heard the end of it. Or it could be Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It might be really good. I'll watch it. What the heck? Why not? I like the Harry Potter universe. I remember reading the books and enjoying them.
Yeah, I thought about reading the books because I just didn't know, and I just watched the movies, and so for me it was all just fun. I mean, the ones early on where they were very young didn't really appeal to me. It was more of like it felt more like a Twilight, teens coming of age kind of a thing. But as it got a little darker and older, then I felt like it later on it appealed to me, and so I started watching it. And paying more attention, which made me go back and watch the early ones with a different view,
right? Because
you could catch the story and the nuances of where it was headed earlier on when you knew the bad guys and who they were tied to and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was good. I thought they did a good job. But I get that, they're, like we talk about a lot, there's people who, would like some more of it in there.
Yeah, and it was a book for kids, and the writing matured as the characters matured.
Sure, yeah.
Which is smart, I think, from an author's perspective, right? Because the readers that you start with are largely going to grow up as they read these novels because it takes a lot of time to finish a series that long. So,
oh my God, the AI generated accounts on all the social media are out of control. They all have the same two girls' faces on random bikini body, and they always are trying to sing the lyrics, but the AI can't make the mouth movements correctly because it doesn't understand the three-dimensional assembly of the mouth and how to move teeth, tongue, and mouth together to make voices. So it looks like 2 decades ago CGI of people trying to talk. It's horrible. Weird. Horrible.
I was sent the other day a video that looked like a movie trailer.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Friends movie with the characters
from
Friends.
Yeah.
And it was all based around Chandler passing away because Matthew Perry died. And it was, I was so infuriated. I was like, why would you send this to me? I can't be the only one that has a problem with this. This is a problem.
Because it was just fake BS, but it could get you to believe
but
it very easily.
Real.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. They're already doing it with political ads.
I know.
It's horrible. This is the thing. This is the fear that everybody had, is that it would get to the point to where you couldn't discern the truth from fiction, and people can just make it up. Like some dude in his mom's basement can just make you feel like, oh, but there's a video about that. Haven't you seen it? Your Insta is all Critical Role and the Women of Metal music. Oh, and I'm really over the AI voices.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. World's a weird, wacky place, people. Stay away.
It is.
Stay away from the internet. Wait.
They're hard to do.
Stay away from the
There's
internet.
horrible people on the internet,
Stay
chat.
away from the real people. Because people out there are crazy too.
We need to hire somebody on Fiverr to make us AI.
Wait, I'm sorry?
Can you imagine AI Jen, Jason, and Jordan?
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
We could be just sitting in chat, typing. And there's like AI versions of us going, according to all of the people in the parochial community, titanium white tastes much better than bold pyrrole red.
That's our Facebook.
You see the guy that said that he did the AI suggestions on some of our posts. When you look at the AI suggestions, it says, according to all of the feedback, red tastes better than white.
Oh my god!
It was so glorious. I was like, it's working. We beat the algorithm. This shows the stupidity of AI. It doesn't even know what it's talking about. VTubers. Oh my god, the heck with VTubers. If you're not brave enough to let the world know who you really are, then you shouldn't be on the internet.
Clip that.
Stephen Fry is really good for Harry Potter. Who's that? Is that the guy playing him?
No.
Oh gosh, I hadn't even thought of that. That visually,
books.
I just only know Harry Potter.
Audio books. That's a narrator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, who that like in playing in a TV series with Harry Potter? It's like that's just so visually wrong now because it's so much the cast that was there.
Yes.
Hermione Granger and the redhead kid and all that. It's like, can you imagine having to cast that and being like, we have to live up to some of the visual aspects of what the movies did, I would assume, because even if the books were totally different in their descriptions and you went faithful to the book, you'd please some of the people and piss off everybody else.
Well, and that's true with everything.
The interesting thing for me is I and this is why it's so weird to me, is typically I would expect, if I were making a remake of something, I would want to wait an appropriate period of times that all of the people who grew up with it are old enough that like they're distanced enough from it so that you're getting a very new like group of audience people
Sugar
watching.
Rush saying that my sister would always go about how they missed this and that. I never heard the end of it. So it's someone who enjoyed the books as a kid who wanted more.
Yeah.
And is now going to still appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. I grew up with it, and I'll watch it for sure.
T-Fresh says, it's all fake and stupid except painting miniatures. Yes, exactly. Don't go anywhere on the internet that doesn't have us painting miniatures. Yeah. There. A little bit of marketing, a little bit of truth, a little bit of misdirection. I could be a politician.
Zero AI.
I could be a politician. That's it. I'm running for president.
Please.
Vote for me.
Jason?
What?
I would vote for you.
Everybody would vote for me.
I would vote for you.
And then I get shot.
All these people here would probably vote for you.
Everybody would vote for me.
People watching right now would vote for you. I don't.
Everybody would vote for me. My first thing that I would run on is ending income tax and flat sales tax.
Okay, we're not going to talk about anything political.
Jen's like, all right.
That right now.
There's still time. I can still get on the ballot.
Nope.
Oh.
Jen's like, you're not allowed to do that.
Oh. If it is not Harry Potter actor child old enough, it is not Harry Potter actor child old enough to be the next Harry Potter. That sounds like time enough. Are you okay?
It's not.
I'm not
the
following.
Harry Potter actor's child is old enough to be the next Harry Potter.
Isn't that crazy,
He
Sugar
has a
Rush? The
child.
first Harry Potter movie is over 20 years old.
I actually had no idea that it was that old. That's actually kind of crazy. So then it's been, what, over 10 years since they finished the
D-Fresh
last one?
says I'm writing Jason in now. Let's get a campaign going where everybody just writes me in. I don't think that works. I don't think they care. That section's on there. They don't look at it. But
Which is unfortunate.
I still
it
love
is
the Richard
unfortunate.
Pryor. It's like vote none of the above. And then they won. And they're like, well, he has to be the guy.
First Harry Potter movie is over 20 years old now.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot on stream when we get into like the conversations of the fiction that people love turning visual on the screen and how difficult that has to be for everybody involved, including the consumers of that content. But again, I'm with what Jen said. You know, it's like there's no creativity when all you're trying to do is regurgitate what's already been done. I understand the argument that, but they made the Harry Potter movies and they didn't cover everything in the books. Like, so what? You know, they were great. They made tons and tons of money.
Read the books.
There's no reason to remake the movies.
If you want those parts, read the books again.
Because I guarantee
Well,
what everybody
yeah.
would love more, even your sister who would like to have more of true to the book Harry Potter, is we would love something new that evoked what Harry Potter evoked in us. Because that's what keeps us interested. Yeah. You know, having to regurgitate the same crap over and over again, having a Marvel movie shoved down our throats every 2 months, having the Planet of the Apes movies remade that just tell a lackluster story in a world that used to be really cool, blah, 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 blah. It's like, make something new. what's the next Planet of the Apes? What's the next story that grabs you like that? Maybe it can't because we don't really. I mean, we do, I guess, still have some sort of B movies. They do it on TV now, right?
Yeah.
You know, you could have like a TV series that really grasps you. But
what's the newest science fiction or fantasy IP that has come to television that you can think of?
The newest?
Yeah.
Or the best?
Well, I would say the best newest. So the most recent thing that has been brand new, that was not based on another IP, either a book series or a previous. Isn't that scary to think about?
Oh, it's
I literally can't think of something.
It's Rebel Moon, right?
No, but that's bad. That doesn't count.
Well, I asked, are you talking about good or are you talking about new?
Good.
Oh, okay.
Worth watching.
It has to be worth watching.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Rebel Moon, even though I don't like it, is a little refreshing, even though I don't like it because it's a bunch of played-out tropes stolen from everything else. It isn't original in and of itself. But, my gosh, what else is there?
Because, like, original and good means that it is original and also is, like, refreshingly, like, not ripped from other things, right?
I mean, you know, that movie, The Quiet Place, which has been a long time now, and now they're on, like, the third version of it and all, which feels played out. But The Quiet Place, as a concept, was kind of cool. Again, it was just a different alien invasion apocalypse movie, but it was refreshing enough.
What about, like, the Cloverfield ones?
Cloverfield, you know, same thing. It's similar concepts, but done in a refreshing way.
I liked the one. It wasn't.
But we're still talking about movies that are 15 years old.
No.
Right.
But what was the one that was? It came out in the time since we've been together with John. The one that had John Goodman. That was the
Cloverfield Paradox.
Okay, that one was good.
No, that wasn't the Cloverfield Paradox. That was.
It didn't have Cloverfield in the name.
It was one of the Cloverfield movies.
Yeah.
Which was more of a human, like, serial killer, almost weird trapped thing in the storyline of
Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Because that was all when they were, like, in a house and they couldn't go outside.
They were in his survival basement.
Yes, in the basement.
Yeah.
Alan Wake is a cool sci-fi series, but it's a game, so I don't know if it counts. Well, I mean, it's based on an IP that exists. I think what we're saying is, like, what is the coolest new thing? But, you know, again, the fact that it came out as a book or a movie or a video game is really irrelevant. It's still the same consumable, you know, getaway material, and I think that's valid. I think that's one of the big problems is just because it's a successful video game doesn't mean you have to send it to Hollywood to make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
They butcher that a lot of times because it's like this IP worked in this framework, but I don't need to see Borderlands as a movie. I really don't.
Yeah.
Borderlands was a video game that was superior as a video game, but do you really need to throw these poor people on the screen and make them a Borderlands movie?
Right. It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good at all.
Kevin Hart pulls me out of it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And, yeah, it's just...
Fallout
I
is
love
new
Kevin
for
Hart.
visible media. Yeah, and Fallout has done pretty well. I have not watched it, but people have had really good reviews of it. But again, it's an old IP, and I feel like we don't need it. I feel like I would have liked to have had something like in a perfect world. If somebody sat down and said, "You know what we need a new TV show of is we need something that is kind of post-apocalyptic survival, you know, like the Fallout series of video games," and they use it as the basis for what they're trying to reach, and without carbon copying it, they make something cool like Wool.
Yeah.
The Silo series stuff.
Yep.
Great books. The TV series on it, because the books weren't very well known, and so the TV series came out, and for a lot of people it was very, very new, and I think that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And that is very Fallout-ish.
Yeah.
Without having to be over the top. You know, it's not bottle caps and rad rats.
The Last of Us, then.
The Last of Us was a video game that went to the TV.
Yeah.
And I mean, we enjoyed the series. The series was done fairly well. I didn't play the video game.
Stressful.
I didn't like the video game, but because it wasn't my style of video game.
Times, but it was good.
Yeah, but it was okay. But it just took the zombie idea with a twist, you know.
Yeah.
The three body problem just came out, and that was pretty good. You don't want to get me started, Sugar Rush.
But, like, that's the thing, right? Like, all of these things that we're talking about are like, retellings or, like, just tellings of some other media that already exists. So, like, video game or book.
Right.
It's like, I can't think of the last original movie that I went and saw that was, like, sci-fi or fantasy or anything that was even remotely interesting.
You know, it's funny. I think where my brain goes as you ask this question is it goes to the AI movie that we saw with the eccentric guy
Ex Machina.
What's Ex Machina? Fantastic.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, it had very 2001 vibes to it. Not that the story was like that, but it just was provocative in that sense that it was exploring things that are very relevant for the time in a way that was still take you away from the time.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. But again, it's a good sci-fi thing. I don't know, it's hard because right now, like somebody typed in, Hollywood is more worried about the guaranteed moneymaker right now, than they are about exploring new opportunities in big ways. Even Alien, I'm getting excited for the Alien movie because it's an extension of what I really loved about Alien back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want them to remake Alien or Aliens.
Right, exactly.
I would want them to build on that world. So that we've argued, I think that's a valid thing to do. Like if they're going to if they're going to do a Harry Potter series on TV, is it about Hogwarts in the future or is it Harry Potter?
See, I would love
if it's retelling the books, I think it's a waste of time. If it's expanding the Harry Potter universe with more stuff, like
I have no problem with that.
Like I like the
Fantastic
Beasts. I like the concept of that. So the movie kind of fell on its face along the way. The
first
series,
one was good. The second one was meh.
It was kind of meh.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of more in that world, and I think that if you explore that, then it could go on forever, right?
Yeah.
If you do it well, you still have the responsibility to do it well.
The tricky thing is a lot of that stuff when it comes from an original IP that is related to like a book series or something else, right? It's the same problem with like Lord of the Rings and all these other problems, right?
Zindra, the creator. I don't know if it was based on a book or anything or a short story, but I really enjoyed it. A lot of people knocked it because the movie was a little... It was very indie kind of movie made, kind of like Tenet, right? Tenet was the same way. It was enjoyable in its story. It was a little flimsy in its telling, and it didn't really grab me the way I wanted it to, but it was still an okay movie.
Yeah.
And as a concept, I thought it was good. But then you have like Inception... You have Interstellar. You have things like that I thought were all very, very good.
Oh, I think Interstellar and Inception are probably two of the most recent ones that are probably really, really.
They're fantastic. But if somebody were to come out and say they're going to remake Interstellar, you'd be like, "Are you insane? Why?" Yeah. It still holds up.
Yeah,
because they want to make money. That goes back to whoever in chat earlier said money is always the answer.
Well, that's the thing, right?
People have mentioned that's why we remake stuff is because of money.
Yeah, Tenet was all right. It was just more visual. That's the way I felt about it. I thought it was very flimsy as a story. It didn't work very well with the time travel stuff. But it was good. It was still interesting to watch. Too. The creator was the same. The creator was a little flimsy in the story, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It had that same God complex thing that I really dig, like Ghost in the Shell. It had that, can we birth technology like this? As a sci-fi reader, I love that kind of stuff. It was very flimsy in its storytelling, so I understand why a lot of people had beef with it.
You want to hear something real weird? I've never watched through all of Ghost in the Shell.
Of any of them? The TV, the OVAs, or nothing with the original movie?
I mean, I've watched some of it, but I've never, watched the story.
You dive in and watch the original.
I would love to do that at some point.
And they've even remastered it, so it even looks better.
The tricky part is that is a show that I cannot watch while I'm doing anything else.
Have you watched Akira?
Yes.
Right.
I have watched Akira.
Yeah, Alien Romulus looks good. I'm excited for it.
You got 20 minutes. Are you guys going to paint anymore?
Oh, geez. Yeah. Getting tired of non-metallic gold.
I'm just spinning up on the non-metallic gold.
I love nerd media talk.
Me too.
I keep saying we need to do a full freaking podcast type show.
I mean, I could do a podcast about, upcoming stuff, media related for nerd stuff. That would just be fun. I could sit and talk about that stuff for hours.
Me too.
Plan like a once a month.
Yeah, like once a month, sit down and
just sit in the chairs.
Yeah, we should do that.
Sit in the comfy chairs and just.
I'll look at seeing if we can make that work.
Talk a bunch of nerd media influence stuff. Recap the month of nerd releases.
Yeah,
I'd have to get better at looking at what books and stuff have come out because I don't pay a lot of attention to that these days. I've been on a music kick, which is very strange for me. Revisiting a lot of my
is in
music because the books that I would normally listen to have been so horrible.
We got Christopher Masucci in on this.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it would be an absolute blast.
And we know enough people, we could get like guests.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Chat, would you watch it? Would you come nerd out with us if all we were doing was talking nerd stuff?
I think as long as you gave the opportunity for chat to participate in it.
Oh, chat always drives these conversations, gives
but
us
a lot
good
of times-
reflection.
A lot of times, though, you guys get in like so into your discussion that it's hard to break in when people have questions. Be a different format that we would have to get used to.
Yeah, I think that sort of thing would be a little bit easier because we would have more specific talking points, and instead of it being like a painting stream where painting questions will come up while we're having a conversation about something that's completely different, right? Like questions that would generally pop up during that sort of thing would be more related to what we're talking about.
Well, no,
It's
but
probably
I'm
easier
saying
to
like
answer.
there have been a lot of people that were commenting on stuff when you guys
Oh,
were talking, and
Fair.
yeah, I mean, we watched you go through comics.
Yeah,
That's true.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And that turned into a lot of this conversation.
It did.
The new China Miéville with Keanu Reeves novel came out yesterday.
Yep, I've seen the
hold on.
commercials that they've been launching. They get
What-
me with
I don't
those because I'm
understand
obviously
this at
part of
all.
their demographic. He
Something
co-authored.
with Keanu Reeves novel.
So yeah, so what's the author's name? China
It's a sci-fi
Mayville, yeah.
Oh, China Miéville is the person,
It's
Yep.
an author.
author.
and Keanu Reeves wrote a book with this person.
Co-wrote it, yeah.
Co-wrote it. Yeah.
He's also done like a recent comic book
Oh.
that he co-authored called Hard. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Some sci-fi thing.
It would be fun to almost do it on like a Friday night or something. Once a month. Be a fun
Catch
way
the
to do it.
Europeans just as they wake up when they've got all that energy to be rude.
Yep. Catch them while they're ready.
I love the late night when we used to do the late night streams because it literally would be like people getting up to have their coffee, minus the rude part. Everybody was cool, but
Yeah.
they'd be like, "I'm just getting up to have breakfast and my coffee." I'd still be streaming.
You're jetting out of here right after the stream?
Yep.
Okay.
100%. Lock and load, ready to go.
And you will be here tomorrow?
I do not know. Do not count on it.
Cool. Then I will make the plan.
If you need to paint, take your stuff home.
That's the plan.
But I may be.
I'll ask around tomorrow. See what's up.
But speaking of music, have you heard any Spock's Beard? It's in the prog world.
Not a big prog guy.
Spock Beard.
Listen, right now I'm on a Nothington hot water music kick. Loved ones.
And R147, thank you for the sub for 73 months.
Holy
my
mackerel.
Goodness.
That's a lot of months.
That is more months than we have been here. He just subbed to the channel saying, "One day this is gonna be great." Crazy to think how long we've been doing this.
Yeah. You've been doing this since Twitch was basically a thing.
Not the painting thing, but we were on Twitch when it became a thing after
Yeah.
Justin TV. But then we started, streaming in 2016. So,
Painting streams were 2016.
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, I think that's right. I was still doing games through 2015.
You were still doing games until you went to your mom's, which was in 2016.
Was that in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my mom had knee replacement surgery, I went up there and took models and paint because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do a whole lot. Her internet's really crappy in the mountains. So I took models to hang out and paint because I was going to just have to be toting her around and helping her around the house because she had double knee replacement surgery. And as I was doing that, of course, with what internet I had, I was like painting miniatures and it just got this wild hair. I was like, I wonder if anybody paints miniatures on Twitch. And there were a handful of people doing it. So I said that when I got home, I was going to start trying to do that.
And the rest is history.
Yup.
Look at that. Isn't that crazy?
Non-stop ever since.
Don't let your dreams be dreams, chat.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Like, wait, what?
Manifest your destiny.
Monument After Dark I like. And we do it right in the middle of the day. Just to throw people, it's after dark someplace.
Yeah.
Like Baby J, good morning someplace.
It's good morning someplace.
You didn't fall asleep for longer than I meant to giving your daughter a nap. You didn't fall asleep. You did fall asleep. I see. I see.
Been here the whole time. I didn't fall asleep. No, I was just resting my eyes.
Sugar Rush's new audiobook version for Starship Troopers. Is it a single narrator or are they trying to put a lot of people on it?
That's a lot of hit or miss when it comes to that.
There's not really a lot of space for a lot of people because it's not like the movie at all, but... Brought you by Bad Guy. I can set that up. There's got to be somebody there at that company that paints miniatures.
I bet you there probably is.
We could probably convince them to sponsor a show or two. After today, we're trying to get Dixon clothing.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
We're just gonna all start.
Okay.
we want
we're
Dixon
gonna all wear
Dixon clothing to make us a custom hobby
Monument.
nerd
Yeah.
flannel. How badass would that be?
We
Kyle
have
would
to
be
do that.
obsessed.
We can make it happen.
That would be very cool.
We have
After
to
our
do
lunch
that.
today,
That is
I
happening.
bet we could make that happen.
That's happening.
Anybody be stoked for a custom Dixon hobby nerd flannel? Anybody wear flannel? The punk rock thing. Lumberjacks and punk rock and hipsters.
Do it.
Don't tell Kyle.
We know they do this.
Have you told Kyle yet?
Oh, Kyle met him.
Yeah, Kyle met him.
Kyle met him and was like fanboying.
That's funny.
Kyle's like, I'm probably paying for your lunch with all the shirts I've bought.
Yeah, he did. Kyle was like, I definitely paid for that lunch. Raid Shadow Legends hasn't sponsored the stream. They've tried. We've turned them down a dozen or more times.
What, I don't know what that is.
Hilarious.
Raid Shadow Legends is a phone game that's been around for years that's free to play, but in order to actually play, you have to spend a lot of money. It's one of those where you get random characters, and those characters are, common to super rare level. And,
It's a gotcha game.
once you get them super rare, you got to level them up. It's very much like the game we play, like Warframe, except it's on phone, and they nab you with that horrible, you play and you get it. It's a fun game, and I played it for a minute, and then you reach a level where it stops being fun, and immediately as it gets to that level, and they know it, they pop up the $4.99 deal.
Yeah.
For $4.99, you can get this awesome deal of the day, and it's exactly what you need to get past the thing
Yeah.
you're struggling with. So you're like,
Yep.
it's only $5. It's a fun
Gotcha.
game. I'll spend $5. You spend $5. Eventually, the things they throw in front of you are $199 for all these crystals, and you're like, it's only $199. It's a fun game.
Yep.
Source Does says it needs to be plaid. I mean, it's plaid. It's a flannel.
By definition,
Well,
They're not all
not
plaids,
true.
and they're
You
not
can
all
have flannel
flannels.
sheets that are just a color.
Yeah, and they're not all flannels.
So
Like, the shirt he had on today wasn't flannel.
No, it was just
button-down shirt.
like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Pink plaid? Would we do it in pink? No. Maybe. Depends.
Jade mahogany.
Ghost Hunter's like, boycott unless it's pink plaid. No! Pink plaid Dixon flannel. No, although your brother's was turquoise and pink.
Purple.
Or purple, turquoise, and purple. Same with the Metallica
And then
one.
he
I think they're
got-
the exact same shirt.
His first one was, well, no, it was based on it's the exact same plaid that's on the bike that he made,
Yeah.
the Charlotte's bike. And then he has a yellow and black one too.
Yeah,
That's based on
okay.
a different bike.
Okay,
that he
gotcha.
built. But they're exactly the same pattern as that. So if that's the same as whatever the one you were talking about, then maybe. But
Oh, I don't fault Raid Shadow Legends for making a pile of money. They have Hollywood-style commercials. They are making all the money. But for a while there, they were sponsoring every stream on Twitch.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure they still do in the right. Well,
I don't
no.
watch any gamer streams anymore, so I don't know.
They're still out there.
Have they sponsored Ninjan?
Actually, I think so.
I feel like they did,
I think
right?
they
I feel like he
actually
did a Ninjan video,
Yeah.
which was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends as well.
Yeah.
metallic paints, are they airbrush friendly?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, understand that with metallic paints, because there's a certain amount of extra solids in them due to the metallic flake being mica, and you're going to struggle. You're going to need a larger bore, meaning, probably a 0.3 needle size minimum, and then up to 0.5, because the amount of paint is, like, the thickness of it is different because it has those solids in it, not just pigment. So it will need more cleaning. You'll need to make sure you keep your tip clear and probably don't spray for hours doing a full army of custodes with gold. Spray a squad, then rinse some water through it, then spray a squad, then rinse some water through it, so on and so forth, so it doesn't build up. But yeah, spray's fine. Gives you a very good finish when you spray it. And you can thin it like a normal paint. So yeah, I saw Ninjan did one of the, it's either a Yujing or I think it's the Japanese, whatever they're called.
That's Eugene for Infinity.
No, the Japanese got split off on their own.
Oh,
Yujing is China.
That is, you're right. That is. Oh, what's it called?
They used to be just a sub-faction of Yujing, but yeah, it was one of the samurai tag. Looked really good. Did a lot of really cool OSL. Will we ever get to see a mid-tone silver color? I love the silver, dark silver, but I wish there was a mid-tone. Possibly, sure.
I feel like it starts with a K.
You can also just take transparent black and mix it into silver if you need a mid-tone. Super easy. Very forgiving. Nobody remembers because Infinity doesn't get played anymore. They have a new game coming out. I've ordered it.
Too many metal models.
I've ordered it.
Warcry?
Yes. Is it? No, it's not called Warcry. That's Games
War
Workshop.
War
Crow.
Yeah.
War Crow. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah, very, very different.
Tell the painting dad about that. He won't shut up. How you guys getting a mid-tone silver? Yeah, a lot of people ask for it. It's on my list. We still have one more set coming for the base line. It's 9 colors?
What's FTFY?
Sounds right.
9 colors.
No idea. 50-50?
That's a real
I'm-
stretch.
Hey, I'm just making a guess.
Ghost Hunter, help.
What is FTFY? We're not hip
Help
kids
us.
anymore.
Yeah.
We're hip in our heads.
Very out of touch.
You're calling us out.
Fix that for you.
Okay, there you go.
Fixed that for you. Wow. Is that a phrase that people say so often that it needs to be abbreviated? I guess.
Slam Baron. I was checking out Mythic Americas. You get to play as different factions like the Az. Yep. Yeah, the Mythic Americas stuff is really, really cool because it takes exactly what it says. Now, they also have, I think, like Norse and things like that, but they, with the Aztec and Central American mythology, that they bring in, like, the Quetzalcoatl theme stuff, which is really cool. There's a tremendous amount of amazing mythos in the Americas that doesn't get explored enough in games. We've talked to them. They're one of our retailers. They have a retail store in Jersey. and they're big Pro Curl fans. So we love what they do. Great games. We've got a bunch of their stuff around here that a couple of guys play. Is it hard to find a good silver pigment for a mid-tone silver? No. No, it's just that dark silver and silver work so great together because of the process that you... I'm going to come out and say it. You should, as a painter, be working towards a process where you use a color, and then the next color that you use gets mixed with the previous color that you use to some extent, whether it's wet on the model or on your palette, to give you that smooth blending process, because that is the easiest method you will ever find to getting smooth blends on your models. It's not through triads of color, right? It's through that natural blending of the color you just used and the next color you're going to use, and then doing that every step. It turns 3 colors into 5, 2 colors into 3, and it makes your entire amount of color you have in front of you so much more valuable when you start to paint that way. Because in triads, you're limited to just those colors that are in that triad. You start thinking that way, and that's not really great. You know, you start thinking about, I'm going from purple to blue to sky blue. Then all of a sudden I've got 5 colors because I have purple plus blue, I have blue, blue plus sky blue, and then I have sky blue. And you can change that out with any color combination that you have. And so dark silver and silver are 3 colors in the way that I think when I'm making paint. I get that people are like, I just need a mid-tone silver. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, we got one. It's called dark silver and silver. I understand that people don't like to mix. But in a reality of painting, and where you want to be able to not just speed paint, get paint on the model to play the game, where you want the models to start looking better, being able to do that regardless if I'm going to make a mid-tone silver, but what that's going to do is give you 5, it should be giving you 5 silvers, not just the 3 in front of you. Because dark silver to mid-tone silver to bright silver will never give you the same ability as mixing those along the way. And it doesn't take any extra time. You're already doing it. Just thin the layers a little bit more as you paint, and you get it automatically. It's the way we paint everything that we do here, but you never really see us mixing on the palette. You know, rare occasions I have to find a way to make a color, but all of my palette is based around individual colors getting used as individual colors, right? And I never feel like I'm missing a color. So I'm not spending a time here mixing a ton. There's a bunch more mixing with the heavy bodied acrylics as we were doing that across the top. But all of this down here is literally every pile is just another color of paint, individual, not mixed. You know, I might brighten it up like a little bit of the purple with white and stuff like that, but nah. There's like this weird thought out there that if you don't have a specific color and you don't like to mix, that it's almost an impossibility to get it, and that's so backwards. It's not like we're spending hours and hours mixing colors of paint. You know, our competitors like to say, yeah, Procro's okay if you like mixing. I'm like, it's also talking about I never mix my paints.
Yeah, it's also great if you just want to put it on the model too.
It's just great, by the way.
Turns out.
It's just great. Did you hear 9 new colors? Will Special Salmon be one of them? Yep. Eclectic Salmon is one of them. It won't be called that, but it is one of those colors. As is a mid-tone silver. Right?
I'm excited for Eclectic Salmon.
Eclectic Salmon is just orange, red, and warm flesh. It is, yep. It is. But again, that is a reason why I make a color, because I don't expect you to know how to mix colors to get a third hue that is not necessarily indicative of what you would look at those. Like, you know, you pick up orange-red, right? And you pick up warm flesh that I have, or dark warm flesh is what, no, it is warm flesh, isn't it? That's warm flesh that I use, right? You pick up warm flesh and these 2 colors, and when you look at them side by side, not everybody's brain immediately goes to, oh, that's going to give me the best highlight for red ever, right? The same way a lot of people don't think in terms of this and tan flesh or beige red giving you a great highlight. So we try to create colors that we know are going to do that thinking for you in most cases, so that you can get the hue you like. But yeah, when it comes to lightening and darkening, you already have all those tools. And you're already doing it. You're just thinking in terms of like making a new color when you're not really. You know, dark silver and silver together don't make a new color. They just create a new shade that you're already making. You're already doing that on the model as you paint anyway. You're just not thinking in terms of it being mixing color, because that's not how we think about it. Mixing color to me is exactly this. It's exactly this equaling this. You have to know more about paint to get to this level. And so we make this, right? So that you don't have to do this. But I'm not going to make 5 shades of this because you already know how to do that. There's no math involved there, right? You can take this and you can add more of this in it if you want it to be darker, right? Or you can add more of this into it if you want it to be lighter, or any million of colors. So that's the part that, as you learn, you become a better painter just straight away by understanding how to tint, tone, and shade a color. And having 3, 4, 5, 6 of that color in various is just a waste of your money, because you already have a white someplace, I guarantee you, or an ivory someplace that you're using for something else. Make those colors more useful for yourself and spend your money on getting more actual hues, not on 6 of the same color. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense to me. Bud, you did hear 9 new colors, yeah, because I think that's right. I think that the way that the baseline is either 9 or 12.
I think it's 9.
I think it's 9.
I'm like 98% sure that
I think it's 9 because we move the washes into the main range, and we plan on adding 3 more of those. So it might be 9 colors and 3 additional washes, is what it may be.
That actually sounds correct.
Or it might be 6 and 3 additional washes. Whatever it is, somewhere in that neighborhood finishes out the retail rack for the main Pro Acrylic line. It doesn't mean that's the end of the paints we're making. It just means that for the baseline, that will be where that is considered to be complete. Now, I have thought about going in, and we don't know the timing on it, but I may go in and adjust a few other colors, because as the line has grown with the Signature Series and stuff, there are probably 1 or 2 colors in the line that I feel like may be redundant, and I will fix those. So, which means they may get swapped out for other colors entirely. But we haven't made that decision. You think more YouTube video or ever online article would be good, Spirit? What are you talking about? From us? We do a ton of stuff. We're always making more, so we got you covered on that.
I've been doing a lot of recording this week, actually.
Yeah, we do a short every week, plus now those shorts are getting done back as methodologies, which are the written format of that tell you how to do that. That'll continue to happen. Yep. We'll continue to make longer form videos that are, when I say longer form, we're going to try to stick in that 15 minutes and less range for all of our long form videos.
Yep.
They'll be more concise on what we talk about, so that they're not just me rambling on stream for 3 hours. Speaking of which, we're done with another 2 hours.
Went by pretty quick.
Thank you guys and gals for hanging out with us as always. I hope you had a wonderful week. It is Friday. Time to level up. I hope you spend all your XP points from this week on something beneficial.
It's Frigga's Day.
It's Frigga's Day. Sorry. It's Frigga's Day. Friggin' Frigga's Day.
That's right.
Friggin' Frigga's Day.
It's friggin' Frigga's Day. Thank you for joining us on Frigga's Day. 4,570 amazing piles of dirt in the Discord.
So funny.
Ghost Hunter, I love you. That is amazing. I love that I found the perfect meme for us, too, which was the picture. It wasn't a meme. It was a picture of a guy that says all is now dirt because they transferred their entire Minecraft world to dirt. The only thing that wasn't dirt was the cows. Everything else, water, landmass, stone, every other material in their Minecraft world had turned to dirt. They did an algorithm to turn everything to dirt, or use the wand to turn everything to dirt. And the only thing that didn't was this one cow didn't get turned to dirt. And there's a picture of it, and so now that's my proof that the world is all dirt, because check the picture. Because Minecraft.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for joining us. Do make sure to check out those links that Jen was so gracious to put in chat there. The store where you can check out all of the Monument Hobbies Pro Acrylic paints, all the Pro Series brushes, all the amazing stuff that we make. We'd love to be your hobby company. So next time you need something in your arsenal, go check us out. Buy something. And then also the store locator. If you would like to add some Monument Hobbies products to your kit, you can travel to a local store, hopefully, and support the guys and gals that support you locally with gaming spaces and amazing stuff.
If you are outside of the United States,
It still
please
works.
check that link.
It still works.
Check that store locator. We have lots of stores around the world that carry our products.
Yeah, and all of our
We'll save a
international
bunch on
distributors will
shipping.
sell to you and ship to you, and probably at a less rate than you can get from the U.S. direct.
Yeah.
So please do yourself a favor, do them a favor, keep supporting the hobby worldwide.
Yep.
And check out the store locator link. Also, the Discord, where Ghost Owners pointed out we have 4,570 amazing piles of dirt in the Discord. Inspirational dirt. Dirt that posts picture of amazing foods, lovable pets, great miniature painting. Dirt is amazing and does amazing things, and we prove it every day on our Discord. So join us. And stick around. Jen's going to find somebody to raid, show some love in the channel we wind up in, and hit the follow button here if you have not, to be alerted when we stream, because we do this 5 days a week from Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here in Arizona. We'd love to see you back. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you back on the flip side.
See you later, guys.
Bye, everyone.